Hi there, welcome along to a Racing Post Super Bowl postcast special. I'm Bruce Millington and I'm joined by the Racing Post's two keenest and most knowledgeable NFL gurus, Phil Agius and Ian Wilkerson, and also from Paddy Power, their NFL guru, Michael Nagel. So we have got Atlanta Falcons versus New England Patriots taking place in Houston. And before the lads give us their opinion, Michael, give us the two key markets, I suppose. Well, the three really. There's to win the Super Bowl, the handicap, and the total points.
Yeah, so at the moment we have the Patriots at 20-31, the Falcons 13-10. That's just the match betting. So far we've kind of had a lot of money coming in Atlanta for the match betting side of things, because they're probably just a more generous price. Then on the handicap, it's New England Patriots -3 at the evens and Atlanta Falcons +3 at 5-6, and where the total match points is at 58 points.
And where do you sit in relation to the bookmakers in Vegas? Are you taking a view on this as a company?
Yeah, well, we kind of think that the line, for example, like the spread and the kind of total match points kind of set at the moment. We don't see it kind of moving off that massively. We're kind of happy enough where it is at the moment. We think 3 points is fair. If anything, you'd imagine that kind of the public or the kind of punters will kind of start backing the Patriots, seeing as they're kind of a popular team. So we probably, once the line moving, we'd see the price moving a small bit, but we kind of like where it is at the moment.
Okay. Now, it says on the running order, last year, all members of the panel wrongly predicted a comfortable Carolina win. Well, A, that's not going to get you lot carrying on watching this if you think the people here are absolutely clueless. And B, Michael, you take great exception to that, don't you?
Yeah, I was speaking with your producer yesterday, and I was pretty sure I tipped up the Broncos on the spread, because if you looked at my betting accounts, I had a pretty decent bet on the Broncos. So yeah, I was pretty happy.
Yeah,
when they
it
won
was a
last
tip
year.
in the paper as well. We had Denver +5.5.
Right, so
yeah, we're going to have to sack the researcher.
Absolutely despicable. You're listening to the experts here. And the first one to put their head on the chopping board and tell us what's going to happen on Sunday, kick-off 11:30, 2.5 probably, is Phil Agius. Phil, away you go.
Hi, Bruce. I can see it being a really close game. For that reason, I take the Falcons on the handicap. It was 3.5 when they first put the line up, which would definitely be a Falcons bet, because I can see it being close. It's now moved down to 3. If it went below a field goal to 2.5, maybe just take the Falcons match betting instead. That's
my. Are you going to tell us why?
I'll tell you why. Falcons are one of the most entertaining offensive teams we've seen for a long time. It's more of against the Patriots bet, really, because we don't really know how good they are, because they've had a really soft schedule this year. They've beaten some real rubbish to get there. They weren't really tested in the regular season. They've beaten teams like, they play Miami and Buffalo and Jets twice each. There's no problem there. They've played the Browns, the 49ers, the Jets, the Rams. That's just the dregs of the league, really. Even their tests in the playoffs, Houston haven't really got a quarterback anymore, and Pittsburgh arrived there with their star player Le'Veon Bell injured. So it's definitely worth taking on the Patriots, because they've not really met an offensive force like the Falcons.
Okay, fair enough. Wilco, what do you think is going to happen?
I'm going the other way. I like New England. It's lots of people have said, made a big point that Atlanta are the top scorers in the league during the regular season, and New England were the third highest. But the difference in defensive ability has been marked this year. Phil's pointed out that the Patriots may not have beaten much, but they conceded an average of about 15.5 points per game, which was quite considerably the best figure in the league, whereas only 5 teams conceded more than Atlanta's 25.5. So Atlanta are getting through games because they're scoring so many points. They're a bit like Keegan's Newcastle. They score lots of points, and they're lots of the equivalent of 4 threes sort of thing. And I don't think it's going to be that sort of game. They've conceded 48 touchdowns this year, while New England conceded 27.
Who's the equivalent of Barry Venison?
Oh. I thought we weren't going to get any letters. So, also on the Patriots side is the considerable experience of, for another football analogy, they're like Fergie's Man United with Bill Belichick and their coach and seasoned quarterback Tom Brady. They'll have a scheme. They'll be able to suss it out. And I'd expect them to win.
Really?
Can I give you a counterpoint to the Belichick-Brady thing?
Of course you can.
They've won 4 Super Bowls. All 6 of the Brady-Belichick Super Bowls have been decided by 4 points or less.
Really?
Yeah. Only 13 of the last 50 Super Bowls have been that close. But
So say that again.
Every time Brady and Belichick Patriots have been in a Super Bowl, the 6 they've been in, all decided by 4 or few points.
I went to one in 2005.
You did?
That wasn't that close, was it?
Which
It was
one? Where was
Philadelphia. In Jacksonville, I went.
Cool.
I thought they won it easily, but
I think
perhaps
it's close.
perhaps it was one of the ones where they always felt like it was easy, and when it got to a 2-score game, they conceded 1 or so. It was freezing. It was absolutely freezing.
Really?
Yeah, it was really good though. But we got a terrible half-time show. I had Paul McCartney.
Oh.
You know.
I'd probably have had a better stab at what song he'd have done first than Lady Gaga, though, but we'll come on to that later.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Lady Gaga, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lady Jar Jar.
I don't even know any of it. I literally don't know a single. Did she do Poker Face?
Poker
Yeah.
Face, yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah,
mate.
I'm a bit out of my comfort zone as well, but we'll talk about that later.
Michal, have we got any? Should we come to Lady Gaga specials later after your?
Yeah. I've got a whole section on that.
Have you got,
Lady Gaga special, so
have
we
you
might
got
come
Time
back
of
to it later.
Anthem as well?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
we do indeed.
Right. Okay. We'll come to that.
But
First of all, who's going to win this and why?
Yeah, I'm actually firmly on the Atlanta camp. I had a lot of notes written down here, similar to what Phil was saying regarding the kind of Patriots schedule and what they've faced. Like, if you just look at the kind of quarterbacks they've faced, it's kind of been, you probably couldn't think of an easier slate of quarterbacks to face throughout the season. I take the point that the Falcons' defense hasn't been great, but you have to remember that they're improving all the time. They have like 5 players on the starting 11 in defense who have been drafted in the last year or two. They look like they're getting better towards the end of the season. And against the Packers, they put a lot of pressure on Rodgers, the quarterback. So I think that defense is improving, and the offense is just phenomenal. I think if the Falcons win a Super Bowl on Sunday, like I think they will do, it could go down as one of the greatest NFL offenses ever. Like people talk about the St. Louis Rams of '99 being the greatest show on turf, but I think this Falcons offense with Kyle Shanahan coaching, calling the plays, and Matt Ryan quarterback, and all the weapons they have is just kind of unstoppable. The problem that teams face them have is that if they score early like they always do, and if they stop you in your drive, you're immediately under pressure and playing catch up from the get-go. So I'm strongly in favour of Atlanta this Sunday.
And overall under the 58, Phil.
It's the highest Super Bowl line ever for total points, which is not surprising with Atlanta involved. Their NFC Championship game was 60 and a half
60
points
it was,
line,
yeah,
and,
I went over. It was great.
which was the highest line of the season.
Right, so I'm desperate to go a mug over bet because I'm not interested. Should I or should I swim against the tide and go under?
I've got it coming in just below, which means with it being that high, you probably should go below. Because
I'll swim against the tide.
Really?
Definitely.
Go under?
Yeah. It's a high-scoring game. If it's a high-scoring game, everybody's going to go over. So the balance of the bet is to go under.
Oh, I don't want to go under. Miel, can I go? I can go over, can't I?
Well, it's available.
No, but I don't like to sort of, fill too big a mug if it's, ends up 31-8
But
or
yeah,
something.
this is the thing, like overs is always a mug bet. Like that's the opinion I would have. There's always kind of value on the unders because it's kind of the line is biased against the overs. I don't have a major opinion on this. I think the line could go up slightly to maybe 58.5, perhaps even 59, but I'm kind of not having a bet in this, Marcus.
Okay, I'm going to ask you one technical one, okay, here. What's the key matchup? Is it the Atlanta offence against the New England defence, or is it the passing game versus another? Where might there be a key battle? Where might one team have the edge?
Well, the thing with both teams is that they're different to many other teams. Is that they've both got so many weapons, and you don't know which ones they're going to use. Particularly Belichick, he could do anything because he features a player one week just based on where he thinks he's got the matchup. Like last week, Chris Hogan, he would have been the one for the Super Bowl, but he's already been exposed by becoming the star of the championship game. I think the one. I was going to get onto this into the player specials, but
No, keep it up your sleeve. Then keep it up your sleeve. Wilco, have you got just a fundamental thing where the match might be won?
The Atlanta defence have got to turn up if they're going to have a chance. They're going to have to think, as Phil pointed out, they're going to have to think outside the box because they're always a bunch of surprises. The Patriots, they'll come up with something. You think, who is this bloke that they're throwing the ball to all the time? They'd have sussed something out, and they've got to. Their reactions they're going to push on. They're going to be positive. And offensively, I don't think they've got particularly many issues, but they're going to have to be able to suss out the Patriots' game plan, their offensive game plan early on if they're going to have a chance to win.
Okay, fine.
Sorry to jump in there, Bruce. I think one thing that people don't really talk about, which they have done in previous years, is Gronkowski. I know kind of he's been out for a long, long time now, but I think missing like a weapon like Gronkowski for the Pats is kind of doesn't really matter when you're playing kind of rubbish teams like the 49ers. But when it comes to a team in the Super Bowl, having all these weapons make a big difference. So I think that could be kind of an area that the Pats are lacking on Sunday.
So no Gronk, no joy for the Patriots. Okay, MVP, because a lot of people always say you get it every year. If you think they're going to win, back the quarterback to be MVP. What are the MVP odds, please, Michal?
Yeah, so you're dead right. You kind of you possibly like if you like the Falcons and get more value back in Matt Ryan to be MVP, but we're Tom Brady 10-11, Matt Ryan 7-4. They're the two shortest in the field. Obviously quarterbacks.
Who's that big wide receiver for Atlanta? What's
Julio Jones.
Julio Jones.
Yeah, what price is he?
He's 11 to 1 shot.
He's mustered him, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's an absolute beast.
They were on the telly and they said that he can actually jump 11'2" and catch the ball.
Blimey, O'Reilly.
So that's a foot and a half, 14 inches.
So he's got no problem changing a light bulb then, has he?
That is your man, isn't he?
Blimey, all right. Right, give us a long shot for MVP each. Phil, you.
Dion Lewis.
Why?
He's the one who might be the one that Belichick decides to go to. He's the sort of the third choice running back. They've got Blount, who's the blunt weapon. They've got White, James White, who's the sort of second, the normal receiving thing. But they've also got Dion Lewis, who's the real speed merchant. And with this being an artificial surface indoor, if they keep the roof closed, this could be his turf.
Okay, what price is he?
It'd be about 40s, 50s.
Well, I was actually asking the odds compiler.
Fair enough.
Dion Lewis 25s with us.
25s. Oh, perhaps you might have to shop around then. Wilco, your long shot for MVP?
I wouldn't go too far. I mean, from the quarterbacks, but the two of the last three have been defensive players. And if you fancied a defensive player, then probably Falcons linebacker Vic Beasley. He's had 15 and a half sacks this year.
Vic Beasley? That sounds more like a kind of old Charlton Athletic centre.
Yeah, he used to play. He played for Huddersfield in the 50s.
Vic Beasley. What price is he? Vic Beasley.
66.
We've Beasley at 50s and
Stop trying to do Meal's job for him, right? When I ask a price, shut up and let him talk. And Meal, who's your long shot for the MVP?
As a guy who likes the Falcons, I kind of have to go with the Falcons. I think Tevin Coleman at 33 is a good shot. The Pats are kind of having poor against kind of receiving running backs all season, and the Falcons' running back workload is kind of split between Coleman and Freeman these days. So I think Tevin Coleman could have a bit of success against the Pats teams. Worth a look.
Running back's got a poor record.
They've
won 3 since 1984.
How often is it the quarterback, Phil?
Nearly always.
Have you got any stats there, mate? You said 2 of the last 3 have been defensive.
2 of the last 3 have been defensive players, but I not knowing off the top of my head, 6 or 7 out of 10.
Yeah, the last time the Patriots won, it was Malcolm Butler, the cornerback, who was pretty much unknown at the time. But
it's another 70s footballer, isn't it? Malcolm Butler and Vic Beasley.
He's the one who made the interception on the last play when they should have just run it.
Oh, don't remind me about that, Chip.
If Brady wins, he'll win for the 4th time. That'll be a record. He'll beat Joe Montana's. So, bit of sentiment there. It could.
Do you know? I find Brady boring. Just does my head in.
They'll find it hard to not give it to Brady. They'll do their best to give it to Brady, even if he.
Okay, let's talk about first touchdown. Neil, take us through the shortest price or the most likely first touchdown scorers.
Yeah, so on the Patriots side, we have like LeGarrette Blount at 8 to 1, Julian Edelman 10 to 1, Dion Lewis 14s, Chris Hogan 16s. On the other side, the Falcons, we have like Freeman 8s, Julio Jones 8s, Tevin Coleman 11s, Mohamed Sanu 16s. The ones that are proving popular with us so far, Bruce, are Chris Hogan and Mohamed Sanu at 16s.
Sanu had a good semi-final, didn't he? Very good.
He did. Yeah, he scored the first touchdown in the last game. I kind of like him as well this for the Super Bowl at 16s. I think he's a good price. He's very good in kind of the red zone. Julio Jones kind of traditionally isn't a big red zone target for the Falcons. Another bit I like is Hooper at 33. So he's a tight end. He's a big man, 6'5". I think the Patriots, since they traded Jamie Collins to the Browns, have kind of been a bit weak kind of against tight ends. I think he can cause matchup problems for them. I think at 33's first, he's a bit of value.
Give us his name again in case people thought, hang on a sec, that sounds interesting. What's the guy called?
Austin Hooper.
Austin Hooper. Okay, so that's Meal's first touchdown choice. Who's yours, Phil?
Mine was going to be Sanu.
That's all right.
It'd be quite nice in the first Super Bowl of Donald Trump's era if someone called Mohammed scored the first touchdown.
Very good.
Very
good. A little bit of politics.
Get it all here.
The reason for that being, if Belichick does his thing, which is to take away the main weapon. Taking away the main weapon is take away Julio Jones, which means you've still got a big, fast receiver on the other side, Mohamed Sanu, and as Mihail said, he did scored the first TG.
Okay, Wilco, who do you like?
I wouldn't be going mad on Jones because he did score 6 touchdowns, even though he got a shed load of yards. And
so he's more about the guy who makes the big yardage further down, but doesn't bring it.
Finishing it all off. And New England have conceded just 6 rushing touchdowns during the regular season. So
that's amazing. 6.
Yeah, if you can get Blunt at the same price as Jones at 8-1, and he scored 3 times as many touchdowns as him, I'd be interested in that. But I like Sanu as well. I mean, he did well. We went long on his yards in the tip for in the Green Bay game.
All right.
And he did well. I don't shout no one will.
When you have as few winners as Wilco, you have to die out.
Yeah, you remember them all off the top of your head.
But there was 2 interesting ones, Bruce, that one of the traders here this morning kind of tipped up to me, and that's the 2 full-backs on each team. So Devlin for the Pats and DeMarco for the Falcons. They're probably 2 of the best full-backs in the league. They're kind of 2 kind of forgotten men that don't get spoken about a lot. But both teams have kind of used the full-backs this year in kind of short yardage on the goal line. And they're both like 7-10 and 7-1 and 10-1 anytime, and 50-1 and 6-1 first. So if you really want a long shot, one of those might be an option.
Cool.
With the Sanu bet as well, I think I'd go the route of him being Atlanta's first touchdown scorer at 8-1.
Okay, fair enough. That sounds good. We'll have a quick break and then we'll look back at all the myriad of other markets there are on offer.
Get instant access to your winnings with Cashcard Plus, Paddy's brand new card, available to use at ATMs, online or in shops. T&Cs apply. 18 plus. Gambleaware.co.uk.
Okay, we've talked about our overs-unders. Let's talk about the score prediction. Do they do a correct score in this? Could you remember Steve Palmer's brilliant piece where he thought they should do correct scores on the snooker? Frame score, and it'd be 500 to on the field. You can't really do a correct score in the NFL games, can you, Neil?
Yeah, well, we have different variances of winning margins and kind of score brackets, stuff like that, but not an actual correct score.
Because, you know, sometimes on football, some firms have that slider thing where you choose the score and then the price automatically comes out. You should give that a whirl. That would be quite good. But here's your chance, you 3, to be real, absolute judges of judges. Give us the correct score in the Super Bowl. Phil, you first.
I'm going to go 31-27 to the Falcons.
31-27, so 58, right on the point spread then.
It's almost bang on, which is what I said.
31-27. Wilco?
I shall go 30-23 to the Patriots.
30-23, how'd you do that? So that's 3 touchdowns and 3 field goals, yeah? 30-23 for Wilco, and who for you, Neil?
Yeah, I'm going to go 30-23 to the Falcons.
Oh, so it's the same but the other way round. Yeah, you flip that. Okay, jolly good. Right. Let's talk about the weird and wonderful stuff. Lady Gaga, and who's doing the anthem this year?
It is a country and western gentleman by the name of Luke Bryan.
Never heard of him. Have you heard of him? Phil, you like a hoedown, don't you?
No, not really.
No? Okay. So what have we got on Lady Gaga, and then what have we got for the anthem, Neil?
Yeah, so Lady Gaga, we have the usual stuff like her first song.
Could she go for a political one, do you think, this year?
Yeah, we were actually having a discussion in the office about this morning. Like there's stuff like The Edge of Glory and stuff like that, which are Born This Way, which could possibly be kind of political stuff. And one of the lads was making a strong case for Born This Way, to tie in with kind of all the stuff that's going on with Trump, etc. I'm a big fan of Poker Face. We've Poker Face at 14s, though. I'm not a big Lady Gaga fan, but like when I was, it's probably the only song I know, and I saw the 14s, and I started, strangely enough, going through Lady Gaga's set list last night to see
betting does that to you, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. To see what song she plays first, and Poker Face pops up every now and again, and to me at 14s, but also seems
that
like
does sound good, because that's the only one I've heard of as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Phil, have you got a view on this?
Not on the song. I've done a bit of research on the hair colour, which is
hair colour.
Hair colour, which is another market. It's blonde is what she normally is, which is 5 to 6, and I think it's 5 to 6 any other. I tried to just work out if she might come out in team colours. But she's from New York, which means you've got to guess which side. She's from Manhattan, and I've checked it. That's kind of a mixed Jets-Giants area, so it's hard to tell if it'd be blue or green for that reason.
That's a rubbish clue. Why would you want to do that?
But I think you might go any other, because I think she could go rainbow for LGBT.
I might jump in with in there as well, Bruce, because we have this market up on the site, and we're 1 to 6 blonde and 7 to 2 any other colour. I think the 7 to 2 is a small bit generous.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does seem a bit odd. Yeah, she could put a syrup on, couldn't she?
do anything.
She could do whatever she likes, couldn't she? Wilco, anything on Lady Gaga?
Yes,
for you?
I'm going that she doesn't mention Donald Trump at 5 to 6.
Oh, so it's a straight pick 'em,
it's
is
a
it?
pick 'em.
Does or doesn't?
I don't think, she's going to have I would imagine she's got about 15 minutes. She's got 3 costume changes. She's got to do her makeup. She's got to sing about 6 songs. She's not going to have the time to pontificate on the state of American politics.
Also, the NFL, when they do the contract here, there's listen, love, you come on, you do your songs, and you go and you get your check. All right?
Yeah.
But having said that, she might be rich enough that she doesn't care, and she's going to make a stand. That'll be interesting. Anthem time. How long is it going to last for, Michal?
Yeah, we have the lineup at 128.5 seconds at the moment, so we think it's going to be kind of a bit of a long one. I don't know anything about Luke Bryan, but he seems like a bit of a country
like some
music
form?
warbler.
Oh, yeah, form, yeah, please do.
Yes, there's 2 clips of Luke Bryan on YouTube singing the
Singing the
national
national
anthem.
anthem, okay.
One
A basketball match or a
One
rodeo
was
or something?
the Chicago Speedway track. I'm sure Phil was watching that. That's more his sort of cup of tea, where it lasted 1 minute 59 seconds.
1:59.
But then he managed to string it out for an extra 20 seconds when he performed it at a concert at the US Bank Stadium some months later. So that would suggest that the line's pretty much on the button. But 7 out of 10 have gone unders? 7 of the last 10 have gone unders.
Who did it last year? I remember doing my bollocks on it last year.
Gaga, wasn't it?
Was it Gaga? She absolutely. I thought she was going to launch into a massive, great pause before the final line, and she just spat it out. I was doing my nut. Always happens every single year. I do my money. I'm chasing before the kickoff's taking place.
We do need to check that Aretha Franklin has finished doing the one from Thanksgiving Day yet, because she was going on for a very long time.
Really?
I've got a small prop-up story as well, Bruce, that I kind of quite like, that I wheel out all the time.
Please do.
A couple of years ago, I know Brendan Duke when it comes to his dating stories, but I have a good Super Bowl prop bet story. A couple of years ago, the Red Hot Chili Peppers were playing at halftime in the first cold weather Super Bowl. It was on in New York.
Yeah.
And there was a prop bet that a high street bookmaker had up, and it was 7-4 for any of the Red Hot Chili Peppers to be shirtless. So I was on the beer with a few of my friends that day. Ireland are playing away at the Six Nations. We had a few pints, visited a few shops, got stuck into the 7-4 on one of them to be topless. The game was an absolute blowout. The Seahawks had a game 1 at half time. The pub started emptying. There was like 4 or 5 of us kind of tanked in the front row, waiting for the Chili Peppers to come out to see if they were going to be shirtless or not. And they came out in like -1 or something like that in New York. I like 2 or 3 of them had their shirts off.
Oh, yeah. So you're giving it the big one.
Around the pub. Yeah.
Absolutely superb. Brilliant. But you'd be well, you might all like them, but I'm moaning about McCartney having the Red Hot Chili Peppers, the most overrated band of all time, doing half time. No, thank you. Right, let's get back to the action. Anything else you want to mention, chaps, by way of props? Sacks, first penalty, all that kind of stuff. I'll tell you one thing we should do is, how will Sky caption Jeff Reinbold this year? Because he's made all sorts of weird ones. I mean, he talks so much sense that you think he's kind of been, defensive coordinator for the Jets or, head coach of Dallas Cowboys, but they have him as like the wide receiver coach for, the weirdest little
Hamilton.
Weird, it's so strange, yeah. And also, what they should bet with Jeff Reinbold is how many times he starts a sentence, I'm going to tell you something. He does it all the time. Well, we expect you to bloody tell us something. That's what you do. Stop saying that. Anyway, that's my Jeff Reinbold rant over and done with. Give us some more winners, Phil.
You mentioned penalties. I'd go for under. I think the line's about 13.5 total penalties. You've got 2 very well-coached teams, and well-coached teams do things right, and they don't make penalties. If you commit penalties for Bill Belichick, you don't play for Bill Belichick. And Dan Quinn, the Atlanta head coach, he's another thing on the outright. People think about the Falcons haven't been in the Super Bowl for ages. They've got no experience. Dan Quinn's been in 3 of the last. This is his 3rd Super Bowl in the last 4 years, because he was defensive coordinator of Seattle, where we were in it for 2 of the last 3 years. So he knows what he's doing.
Right. Okay. So under on the penalties. I like that. Yeah. That sounds good. And what was the line there? Did you say, Phil?
I think it's about 13.5.
13.5 individual penalties.
Yeah, total match
Not
penalties.
Total yards, is it? But okay, I like the sound of that. Yeah. Wilco, what have you got for us?
Well, yeah, I've got 3. I mean, along the same lines as Phil. Talking about penalty yards, you can go under at 109.5. I like that. They're both pretty well behaved, as Phil's said. Patriots 4th and Atlanta 6th in the fewest yards called during the regular season, and even fewer in their 2 playoff games. Also, 2-point conversion attempt at 5-4 in a tight game. That could be a run. And even if they don't get it, you get paid out on that one. A successful one is also available with Paddy Power. And a missed field goal at 15-8. There was only one missed field goal out of 39 attempts in the postseason. But I got a feeling that there might be one this time. So 15-8, that's attractive as well to me.
My favourite week of the whole NFL season was the week when everybody was missing extra points.
Yeah,
it was
it was
absolutely
mad,
brilliant. They missed 11 or 12
really
in one day.
That, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay, so you've heard the lads specials. Michal, which is yours?
Yeah, there's a few I like. One I particularly like is that no turnover at 7-1 with us. There's bigger prices out there, but both quarterbacks have kind of been impeccable protecting the ball this year, and there's kind of been very little picks from either quarterback all season. There's very little fumbles, like the lad said. Both coaches, like Quinn and Belichick, are kind of be quite strict with that with the teams in practice. So I think there could be no turnover at 7-1. The other one that I like is under 47.5 yards for the longest TD being scored. I expect kind of both defenses kind of play soft kind of coverage, kind of sit back and soak up either team's offense. So I think that's another runner for the people out there.
God, I'm going to have so many bets now. You're making really good cases for all these things. Very, very good. Before we get everybody's single best bet of the Super Bowl, give us a quick show on next year's Super Bowl, please, Michal. And you can all have a free shot at that one.
Yeah, we actually don't have the market up as of yes.
Okay,
so
well,
you
can all still say your team for next year's Super Bowl very quickly, and then when the market comes up on Monday morning, everyone can steam in. Phil?
Not necessarily to win it, but a big priced improver. I go for Tennessee.
Okay.
New York Giants.
New York Giants, Michal?
Yeah, you have to look at the AFC. I like Tennessee, but as an alternative, I'll put forward the Ravens because I just think John Harbaugh probably after Belichick is the next best coach in the NFL.
Okay, right, let's get your best bets for the Super Bowl. Oh, sorry, Rob, I thought we were going to have Steve Palmer saying this will not be beaten. All right. It's a right budget production, this. Right, okay, and I'm not going to sing This Will Not Be Beaten. Phil, what's your best bet for Super Bowl? It said LI. What's that in English?
It's
51.
51.
51, there you go.
Yeah, last year they went back to the number because it was number 50, but they've returned to the numerals this year.
Okay.
I'd just do the Falcons on the handicap. I'll keep it very, very simple.
Keep it simple. Falcons on the handicap. Yeah. Wilco.
Brady, MVP, 10-11.
Really? You're keeping it simple as well. But that conflicts with Phil. You can't both win that. Well, you could. You could.
They just win by 1 or 2 or 3.
Yeah.
It's a big price. They would both win. Michal, what are you going to go for?
Yeah, I'm also going to be boring, keep it simple. I like the Falcons on the money line, 13-10. If you want to cover best, take Ryan to be MVP at 7-4.
Okay, there you go. We've the three have had complete arguments with themselves. That was all a total waste of time. And make your own minds up. But hopefully there's plenty of good specials in there. Alcohol consumption. I'm going to bet that Michal. I'm going to go 1 to 10. Michal drinks most out of you three during the game. Phil, you're 50s, and Wilco, you're 3 to 1. So, Phil, how much alcohol will you have during the game?
Possibly none.
Yeah,
I think I said that last year.
None,
so
the
form's out there.
You're not going to a Super Bowl party?
No, I normally like to watch it at home so I can be quite sad and have
BBC
Twitter
or
and laptop
Sky?
and telly. The Sky have got Ray Lewis, so I'll be BBC, I think.
I like BBC. I mean, you're who used to play for the Giants, who does the analysis on the BBC and does the Late Show with Matt. What's his name? Chapman.
Mark Chapman.
Mark Chapman. Really good. Really good
Matt
fun.
Chapman does NFL.
Yeah. Well, it's only a matter of time, probably.
He does everything.
His yee-haw would go down quite well in American sport.
I'm going to a party in Bloomsbury.
Oh yeah.
Yes, which is being run by our friends at Gridiron Magazine. We're paying a few of us got a table there. So
lovely. That'll
change
be nice.
of scene, but I won't be drinking until match time. So I'm sure Michal will be in front of the rugby, getting a bit of a head start.
Michal, does the favourite oblige there, do you think, in terms of alcohol consumption on the night?
Well, this year I'm kind of lucky enough in that Ireland are playing the Six Nations on the Sunday, so I won't be on the sauce for today, but I'm sure by the time Lady Gaga is trying to get her throat warmed up, there'll be a few points consumed.
You'll be suddenly shouting when her hair isn't blonde.
We'll have to tweet about it. We'll keep score.
Okay, excellent stuff. Thank you very much, chaps. And when does the Super Bowl special go in? It's on the day, is it?
On the day, Sunday.
Excellent. Have you had a little ruck about who's going to have the main tip? And
I'm not even in it.
You're not in it at all? Good, man. Okay, excellent. Right, then, what else have we got? Thursday, we have got the usual football postcast. And on Friday, I think we've got a Six Nations special, haven't we? That's right,
That's
Rob.
been
Rob's
done, yeah.
nodding, so that's in the can. So that'll be out with you on Thursday as well. And racing fans back with the usual Friday weekend postcast. So join us for that. Thank you very much to Phil. Thank you, Wilco.
Cheers.
And thank you, Neil. Good luck with your bets on Sunday.
Get
Cheers, guys.
instant access to your winnings with Cashcard Plus, Paddy's brand new card available to use at ATMs, online or in shops. TNCs apply. 18 plus. Gambleaware.co.uk.